You think you own your home. You think you own your 401k? You think you own your future? You don't. One company already holds the voting rights to almost everything you believe is yours, and its name is BlackRock. Most people will never notice. They will never see the fine print on their mortgage documents. They will never read the shareholder reports of the companies in their retirement funds. Because if they did, they would realize a single unelected firm in New York quietly became the most powerful financial entity on earth. Here's what they don't want you to see. Larry Fink is fired from First Boston after a bad bond trade. He starts a small firm called BlackRock. Original mission: manage risk for big institutions. Nothing special. BlackRock creates Aladdin, a risk management supercomputer. Today it monitors $30 trillion in assets in real time. More data than the Federal Reserve, the ECB, and the Bank of Japan combined. 2008 financial crisis. The US government hires BlackRock to clean up Bear Stearns and Egg. BlackRock gets paid billions and gets the inside map of the entire system. BlackRock buys Barclays Global Investors. Overnight it becomes the world's largest holder of Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, and almost every major US stock. Not because it bought the shares with its own money, but because it manages the index funds and ETFs that everyone else poured their life savings into. 2010 a 2020, passive investing explodes. Vanguard, State Street, and BlackRock become the big three. But BlackRock is the biggest. By 2025, it manages over $11.5 trillion. That is more than the GDP of every country except the US and China. BlackRock starts buying entire neighborhoods of single-family homes. Through subsidiaries and real estate funds, it becomes one of the largest residential landlords in America. You rent from a local company, but the voting rights on your house sit in BlackRock's proxy department. BlackRock, Vanguard, and State Street together own more than 22% of the average S&P 500 company. That means they vote your shares. They decide CEO pay. They decide climate policy. They decide whether a company lives or dies. And you never get a ballot. Larry Fink writes in his annual letter, "Markets dante like uncertainty, governments must force capital real." Translation: BlackRock will tell governments what to do with your money. BlackRock is appointed special advisor to the Federal Reserve and the Treasury on digital dollar infrastructure. The same firm that owns your stocks and your house now designs the system that will track every transaction you ever make. By early 2026, BlackRock's assets under management are projected to cross $15 trillion. That is roughly 15% of all global financial assets. One company, one voting bloc, one set of interests. The Federal Reserve begins a rollout of FedNow and the first pilot of a retail CBDC. BlackRock is the only private firm sitting at the table. Your bank account, your brokerage account, your mortgage, all flow through systems either built by Aladdin or advised by BlackRock. Index funds become mandatory in most 401k plans. You are not allowed to opt out. Your money is locked into the same basket BlackRock controls. You no longer have a choice. Real estate funds finish their buying spree. Homeownership for the under 40s falls below 35%. You will rent forever from funds that BlackRock either owns or votes on. Corporate America becomes a single voting cartel. The big three vote as a block on 88% of S&P 500 companies. Competition dies. Prices rise. Innovation slows. And every dividend you receive is decided by three men in Manhattan. Who wins? BlackRock. Its shareholders, the governments that now depend on it for market stability, the executives who receive 9-figure pay packages approved by BlackRock's proxy team. Who loses? You, the individual investor. The first-time homebuyer, the small business owner who can't get capital because the cartel won't allow it. Every citizen whose retirement is now a permanent hostage to one firm's agenda. This is not conspiracy. This is corporate governance. This is index investing taken to its logical end. You handed them the keys $1 at a time, thinking you were diversified. You weren't. You were centralized. BlackRock doesn't need to own 51% of your house or your stock. It only needs the voting rights. And it already has them. You now know who really owns your future. The question is, what are you going to do while there is still time? If this video woke you up, drop a like and subscribe. New forbidden truth every single day. Turn on notifications. The next one might save your wealth. Comment the one thing you're doing right now to prepare. I read every single one.